Welcome, 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 everyone. How are we all doing this wonderful Thursday afternoon? I believe we're all mostly in the same time zone, but apologies if not. I am Aicher McCauley, Senior Director of Communications at Everyday Democracy, and I welcome you to our virtual Aicher Award ceremony. I will be assisting with hosting to this afternoon's ceremony. And to get us started, I do want to welcome our board chair, Miles Rappaport, to get us started. Miles, if you could just share a few words with our audience here convened this evening, and then hand the mic over to Merle McGee. That would be so wonderful to get us started. But again, welcome and thank you for joining us to our virtual Aicher Award ceremony. Miles.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. As my friend EJ Dion says, the Zoom era is the only time anybody ever tells me to unmute myself. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I apologize for being on mute a little too long, but I want to thank everybody. I am Miles Rappaport, and I am the board chair of Everyday Democracy, and I'm delighted that all of you are joining us for the virtual Aicher Award ceremony. On behalf of the board of directors, some others of whom are here, and on behalf of the Aicher family, I am really, really happy that all of you have joined us. Paul Aicher's vision in founding Everyday Democracy was a democracy where people have regular opportunities to talk together across divides and in support of social justice, to listen to each other, to have a voice in the public decisions, and to, be able to be a part of the democratic process in a real and meaningful way every day, which is sort of where we got our name from. So Joyce Aicher, Paul's wife of long standing, had a tremendous sense of humor, deep intelligence, and a real passion for racial and social justice. And that is also critical to their legacy. So both Paul and Joyce's vision and energy continue to inspire the work of Everyday Democracy to this day. We're very gratified this year to present the Paul and Joyce Aicher Award to an outstanding organization, Faith in Indiana, and you'll hear more about their work very, very shortly. But given the extraordinary pool of applicants that we've received this year and over the last several years, we have actually introduced a second award category, which is for individuals rather than organizations who are doing exemplary work in their community. And we have created the Civic Leadership Awards, which today will be presented to Elizabeth Joseph and Ramona Ferreira. Through this award, we will recognize their outstanding achievements and in creating opportunities for people in communities around the country to, develop their democratic skills and democratic muscles and to solve problems always with an understanding of the need for racial equity and racial justice. So thank you all for being here to be with us. And before I turn the mic over, I just want to say that we are delighted to have as our new president and CEO, Merle McGee. Speaking on behalf of the board, our longtime leader, Martha McCoy, left the organization after 31 years of superb leadership. And we had a really creative and thoughtful and serious search process. And we're delighted to end up with Merle McGee, who comes to the organization with a dazzling career, really, in nonprofit management, in racial and social justice, in education, all done in New York City, and most recently playing a leading role in Planned Parenthood of New York. So, Merle, you are our next leader. We're delighted to have you. We're delighted to have you lead this effort today. So let me introduce Merle McGee and thank everybody once again for being here with us.
Thank you so much, Miles, for that incredibly warm welcome, and I deeply appreciate it. Hello, everyone. As you have heard, my name is Merle McGee. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am honored to serve as Everyday Democracy's newest president and CEO. And I am delighted to gather with you all today for our second virtual awards ceremony and my first as Everyday Democracy's new leader. It's been energizing to learn about the amazing work of these individuals and organizations, which aligns beautifully with the Aichers' core values: voice for all, connection across difference, racial equity, and community change. Our sincerest gratitude to Paul and Joyce's children, Peter and Kate, who carry this legacy forward today. We are grateful for our board members who have served as members of the award selection committee alongside Peter and Kate. So thank you, Diana Johnson, Jillian Howell, Jamil Alexander, Susan Grasick, and Selena Singletary. Thanks to our staff who participated and coordinated the application review process: Antai Bilkatai, Azil Brown, Dolores Vaughn, Francine Nichols, Jenny Morrison, Lauren Linton, and our own Naisha McCauley. And I want to give a special nod to the only person who is out. Well, no, I guess I'm still more junior than you in my tenure. Kendra Malone, who's really the technical force behind our program today. And finally, I want to recognize Martha McCoy for her leadership in guiding this award process over the past 5 years. So thank you, Martha, for all of your efforts to make sure that this award reflects the legacy of our founder and the spirit of our work. And finally, I want to thank you all for joining us to honor the work of our winners. And to hear more about our winners, I'm going to turn the mic over to Naisha McCauley, who will share about the Aicher Awards winners for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Merle. Thank you, Miles. And I am thrilled. I get to introduce our winners, having gone through the selection process, and I feel just really excited because I had emailed Ramona and I said, I get to meet you in person, you know, and this is as close as in person as we can get. But I felt like I had carried you in my heart and in my thoughts over the past couple of months. So I'm just excited that I get to share space with you, as well as my FDEM colleagues and family. So we would like to present the award and give our awardees. We're going to pass the mic to all of you, so get ready. If you prepared your speeches, pull them out. We want to give all of you an opportunity to share some words with our attendees this evening. So first up, our Leadership in Democracy Award is presented to Faith in Indiana. And representing Faith in Indiana, yeah! Representing Faith in Indiana, we have the Reverend Richard Willoughby, who's the board chair, and I believe Rosie Bryant is also here joining us. And so you'll get an opportunity to hear from both in just a moment. But for those who don't know about Faith in Indiana, they organize for racial and economic equity in Indiana with a focus on mobilizing faith communities. The organization was nominated in recognition of their innovative work to change law enforcement and criminal justice practices in Indianapolis, which has shifted the public discourse in the area to focus on root causes and community-based interventions. Faith in Indiana envisions their organizing work, which intentionally engages I can speak, those left out of the public conversation as a strategy to help people who might otherwise be silent claim their public voice. That is leadership in democracy. Welcome, Faith in Indiana, and congratulations. Please step to the mic, step to the stage, Reverend Willoughby, and share a few words on behalf of Faith in Indiana.
You're muted, Richard.
I just heard that. Okay, y'all can hear me now, right?
Now we can.
Okay.
Happens to the best of us.
Yes. First, I'd like to say thank you for even recognizing us for these accomplishments and that we do have like value. And 10 years ago, I never even could imagine outgrowing yourself. And that's the way we wanted to develop our organization. We wanted the organization to outgrow any individual. And we saw that there were a lot of grandmothers sitting on the porch and not having a real voice in the community. And that's what we want to be. We want to be the voice of the people. We don't want just expose everybody to our own individual values, but we want to be the voice of the people and let their voices be heard. So I'll turn the mic over. I've been doing this ever since the inception of this organization, but we're so happy to have Rosie with us. And she has grown from grassroots and all the way up through the ranks to a national leader. She's on the national staff now. And so that's just good to see those type of accomplishments that are being made. So I'll turn the mic over to Rosie.
Thank you, Pastor Willoughby. Hello, everyone. My name is Rosie, and I am really excited to be here and so excited to be a part of an organization that has been able to build long change. I started with Faith in Indiana about 5 years ago. An organizer saw me in a church, came up to me and said, "Hey, you wanna get mass transit pass?" I was like, "Sure. Is it paying?" He was like, "Not normally, but we can give you a little stipend." I was like, "Okay, yes." So I did it. and at the time, originally, yes, my motivation was like, I got a little stipend to go talk to people and try to pass mass transit. But honestly, as I got into it and started to see like, oh, wow, change is possible when people come together and they make a decision to lead And I was able to see I was riding the bus at the time, the fact that the buses now come every 10 to 15 minutes. It was just amazing to me and changed and impacted my life in a impactful way. And so I stuck with the organization. And when I graduated college, I ended up leading a job in organizing. And as you guys can see, we've been able to do some really amazing things that seemed like it was impossible. And in a state like Indiana that is really hard to get things passed, it was really amazing to see this happen, where we passed the first ever co-governance board, the first ever in the country, where people like me and you are able to make decisions regarding our police department's policy. And it's an amazing, amazing feeling. And I am so glad to be at this organization, and so just thankful that we are recognized for our work, for leading and inviting people to lead with us. And so I'm just honored to be here, and I appreciate you all.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Willoughby and Rosie. Thank you. As our board chair, Miles Rappaport, stated in his opening remarks, we originally set out to recognize an organization with this award, but expanded it to include individuals who are equally making a difference in unique ways, innovative ways in their communities. And so we have two civic leaders joining us as honorees in this program. And I want to introduce our first Civic Leadership Award winner, Elizabeth Joseph. So get ready, Elizabeth, coming to the stage. As an Associate Director of Community Engagement at the Ferguson Library in Stamford, Connecticut, Elizabeth shines a light on how vibrant public spaces are fundamental to civic life. Through her role at the library, Elizabeth first got involved with Everyday Democracy and learned about our approach to authentic community engagement. Her connection to our organization has evolved over the years, and she has been integral part of many of our programs and initiatives, including our Connecticut Civic Ambassadors, which she is one, and our Institute for Community Change Leaders. Elizabeth has brought together public officials, institutions, community-based organizations, and community members for dialogue and action around pressing social issues in Stamford, Connecticut. Welcome, Elizabeth, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Naisha. It's really sort of strange to be recognized for some work that has been just a part of my life and an organic part of my existence. I think that I'm really indebted to Val Ramos, who has been just a phenomenal influence in my own life, because as an organizer, you sometimes don't know where to start and where to go and what to do. I think Val has become a beacon for me. He has really become the person that has brought me to this place. I'm also grateful for all the people who represent Stamford on this call. They have also been just amazing friends and colleagues and mentors. I became a librarian because I thought public libraries can really be the place where change can happen. I have a friend on this call, Mrs. Josephine Anderson, who talked about when she was growing up in Georgia, and she could not go to the library as a little girl. And she's on this call today, and I wanted to change that. I wanted to change that, not just for someone like her, but for every person that moves into a city or lives in the city or comes to this country. The library can be a place for everyone. It could be a place not just for education and books, but it can also be a place for social change. So I've made that like my mission in life. And I'm grateful not just to Val, but I'm grateful to everybody on the Everyday Democracy team. I want to thank Caroline and Gwen, who are both on this call. They have been amazing partners and mentors and supporters and given me so much love that I sometimes can't believe that that much love exists in this world. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you. I think you see the pattern emerging of why we recognized the particular leaders, and it is always hard when you are looking over applications, but I see and hear your heart, Faith in Indiana, Ramona, Elizabeth, in your work, and just really honored. Again, it's just been a pleasure to spend time with you on paper, and getting a chance to see you over Zoom is just rewarding. So without further ado, I want to bring our final Civic Leadership Award recipient to the stage, Ramona Ferreira. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Ramona, please correct me if that's not the case. Ramona is a South Bronx-based community organizer who has used advocacy as a springboard for bringing together diverse facets of her community. Ramona's activism has focused on several major systems that New York City residents navigate, including public transit, public housing, and criminal justice. In particular, she has advocated for fair fares on public transportation, organized to prevent defunding and privatization of public housing, and contributed to a campaign aimed to close Rikers Island by 2024. Welcome, Ramona, and congratulations.
Thank you. My voice is a little gone today because I just got back, I think last night, from Washington, D.C., where I took 45 tenants of public housing from throughout New York City, Memphis, Greensboro, North Carolina, and we went down to let our elected officials know that housing is a human right, and that our housing crisis and unaffordability crisis is really doing the most harm to the community that I happen to love. So I do sound a bit more theatrical than I normally do, but my name is Kwatuke Ini Inaru. Ramona is my colonial name. I live in public housing in New York City and spent my academic and professional life working for the Department of Defense, and before that, the FBI. And, you know, I grew up in a time completely obsessed with the idea of departure being the measurement for your success, right? If you were able to make it out of communities like mine, that meant that you had actually made it. And I reached a point in my spiritual, educational, and physical timeline where I no longer wanted to define success by departure, but by returning and being a change maker. To those, I made it possible for me to leave. So I am extremely honored to be recognized. It is like Elizabeth mentioned, it is very rare that folks that are truly aligning change have an opportunity to hear the words that all of you are saying tonight about us, and that fills my heart. I am a believer that we end up in this timeline together and moving things forward because our ancestors and the universe have actually colluded to make that happen. So I'm grateful for everyone that has joined, everyone that supports the work that I do, and that supports my mental and physical well-being, as I am someone living with a disability as well. So just really, really grateful and really excited to be here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. I again am blown away by the leadership and the courage and the bravery that is demonstrated in your stories, and it's an inspiration for us at Everyday Democracy to continue to do the work that we do. I would like to welcome back Merle and Miles to join me in just final remarks and opening up the space for others to bring their voices into our awardees tonight. if others would like to step in and share space and share a word or two of congratulations, I do invite Merle and Miles to come back in. And we have other board members from Everyday Democracy and our staff joining us today. So Kendra, you don't have to spotlight me anymore. Let's open up the Zoom space, see all these wonderful faces around the room. And in our final moments together, let's open up the conversation. Please continue to use the chat to share words with each other, but I want to open up the space for everyone to join in.
Merle, you want to start us off? Go ahead.
Certainly. That's what I thought I would do. So I'm excited because in this very short window of time, did have a chance to meet Elizabeth in person, which is really wonderful, and to learn more about the work that you've done, and to celebrate you is truly wonderful. And so congratulations to you, and to, I'm sorry, oh no, where did I don't know where the Reverend went, Reverend Willoughby, and Rosie, congratulations on the work and the labor that you have put in Indiana. We see you and we appreciate you. And so I extend congratulations on behalf of Everyday Democracy as well. And I invite anyone who wants to rain love on our awardees today. Fill them up, fill them up.
Good afternoon. I'm Josephine Folter Anderson, a co-worker with Elizabeth. I just want to say congratulations to everyone, especially Elizabeth Joseph. She's like my daughter friend. I thank God for her, and I just ask God to bless her as she continues this journey. She's like a star that shines in the dark. Her courage, her passion, and her love for humanity, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. And I thank God that she's in my life and that she's my friend. The difference that Elizabeth and the team and the people that she has brought together here in the city of Stanford is phenomenal, just phenomenal. The churches, Ms. Anderson, what about the churches? And the civic leaders and the unserved and the underserved, and Elizabeth, and she don't believe in taking any credit. So Elizabeth, we're in a different building today, so you can't look at me funny. She doesn't like to take credit, but she's a team player. She looks at everything, every gift and every talent that everyone has, and then she brings that all together in order to succeed. So my dear friend, my daughter friend, I am so happy for you. God bless you, and just keep on keeping on. Thank you all for the opportunity to just let my friend know that I am so proud of her. We are so proud of her. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Anderson, for being my inspiration.
I realized I did not honor Ramona Ferreira, and my apologies in not recognizing and extending appreciation and congratulations on behalf of Everyday Democracy. And I'm actually quite embarrassed because I do represent New York City all the way every day. And I know deeply how challenging the work is that you're leading, particularly around public housing in New York City, as I have made this space my home for the last 35 years. So I feel remiss that I did not honor you and name you specifically. So I wanted to correct that.
Well, I have an interesting point, observation and point that I'm sort of feel called upon to make, which is that so if I look at the three honorees here, I think there's a blending of what has been traditionally been kind of social service, if libraries can be in that space, you know, for in communities, direct service, and also from people from the community organizing world. If I'm not mistaken, the Faith in Indiana folks, are you part of the National Faith in Action Network?
Yes, we are.
Okay,
Yes, we
so I started as a community organizer with many of the people who are now part of Faith in Action. George Gale is an old friend. So I have tremendous admiration, but there's been over time some separation between kind of the deliberative democracy space and the community organizing space. And I think this is now blending and coming together in a really, really important and wonderful way, in the sense that Elizabeth, you know, coming from the library world, are clearly using that as a platform to do community organizing and to bring people together and to make real change. And on the other hand, I know that the Faith in Indiana and Faith in Action people are doing deep canvassing as one of the kind of key mechanisms of work, which is bringing a sense of dialogue and conversation to what, you know, has long been kind of more what we used to call kick-ass organizing. And I think that that's a real, you know, benefit to blend those traditions. Anyway, and it's clearly so, Ramona, in your work in public housing in New York. So anyway, for somebody who's now the chair for an organization of conversation and deliberation, moving to change and racial justice, but who started out as a community organizer, it's really nice for me to see all these circles come together. So I congratulate all of you and thank you for the holistic way in which you're approaching your work. So I'm a huge fan. I didn't know any of you, but I'm a huge fan already. That's for sure.
I do just want to add one more note about how I'm feeling right now in this moment. You know, it's hard when this kind of event is happening over Zoom, but I just feel the energy and the love even across Zoom rooms. But hopefully one day this award transitions back to an actual live in-person event. So it would be great for that to happen. Well, you know, that concludes the ceremony today. If there are no other voices who want to enter into the space, I appreciate you all. And most of all, our honorees, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And we will stay connected and stay in touch. Is that right? Is that everyday democracy?
Yes.
In action.
Yes.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Congratulations, everyone.
Ramona.
Peace and safety.
Congratulations, Elizabeth. Take care.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Congratulations.
By the way, just shout out to Selena Singletary and Bruce Mallory, who are the two other board members that are with us here today. So thanks both of you for being here. This is great.
Congratulations to everyone. Great.
All right, bye everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.